Hi, I'm Joyce,
And I'm Adrielle.
and we are Divinely Guided. And I know you've missed us for a couple of weeks, but Adrielle has been working in Montgomery, so she's been on the road, and we haven't been able to do the recordings. But we're here today.
My glasses are sitting up so tall on my face now since I got these repaired. I guess I'm used to them sitting a little low.
Oh, I was about to say, what do you mean by sitting so tall?
They're sitting up so tall on my face. It's interesting.
So is that better?
It's better, but I'm not used to them fitting correctly anymore, I guess.
Oh, okay. So they had gotten loose and they would slide down?
Yes, they were missing parts. The nose guards were gone. It was looser on the sides, and they were constantly about right here.
Oh, okay.
And so now that they're up tall, it's interesting.
Oh, but you probably see better?
It doesn't let me see better.
Oh,
it's
okay.
just that my glasses aren't constantly falling off.
So not as annoying?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And then you got a new pair as well.
I did.
Mm-hmm. So now you have two good pairs.
Yes.
Isn't that good? Yes. And of course, I have the reading glasses, so I
got lots.
I got lots.
Yeah.
But I will at any time lose one.
This is true.
But anyway, today we want to talk about this really kind of goes back to our theme of self-care a little bit. And it's about being intentional. One of the things that came up in many of our podcasts was how we really kind of default to things because we're not very intentional and deliberate about what we want, so we default to what we get. And so today I want to spend a little time, and really it's a topic that could go much deeper than one podcast, and maybe we'll do more than one on it. But it's about being intentional. And what do you mean when you say being intentional? Is when you bring about that focus, that commitment, that attention to what you deliberately want to be, want to achieve, want to do. Is that how you think of when you think of being intentional? What would you think of when you think of being intentional?
Taking control of your situation in the ways that you can.
I like that.
Controlling what can be controlled. Because everything can't be controlled, so you might as well take control of what can be controlled.
Right.
And I've met people who because they realize that they can't control everything, it's like they kind of give it up and just don't control anything. Yeah. So that's what it is to me. It's just being intentional about the things that you can control.
Right. And that's a good way to kind of look at it, though, because if you are intentional about those things that you can control, that really helps put everything into perspective and focus for you.
Yeah, because at this point, you're doing all you can do.
Right. Yeah. Yep. But anyway, today we want to spend a little bit of time. The information that I shared with you earlier was about being intentional with your time.
Yeah.
So that's as good a place as any to start, because like I said, this is a conversation that could easily carry over into several weeks, and we may very well do that.
We should.
Yeah, because today, like I said, I shared some stuff with you about intentional with your time, but there are also, there are varied things areas of focus when it comes to intentionality.
Yeah.
But since we talked about time first, let's talk about being intentional with your time. Deliberately, consciously choosing how you spend your time each day. Focus on those activities that align with your priorities rather than letting your day slip away without clear purpose. That's a whole mouthful right there.
Yeah.
Because I think so many times, and I know for me particularly, especially since I'm retired, it is almost too easy to allow my day to slip away without any real purpose in that day. And that's one of the reasons why I like still working on writing and editing for the Beyond Auburn magazine, because that forces me to be more intentional with how I spend my time.
I'm about to get up. You can just keep going. I'll be right over there.
Adrielle is being intentional. No. But it's easy to let your time just slip away from you. And it's unfortunate because time is a very valuable commodity.
It is.
And we just allow so much of our valuable time to slip away unaccounted for and not productive as it could be. But on the other hand, I think too, and I don't want to lose focus of where we were, but I do think it's important too to have some downtime because you don't want to constantly be pressed. But you do want to have some more accountability to yourself for how you are spending your time and what you're focusing on. Yeah. Now, I had sent you a lot of things about some key aspects of being intentional with your time. Was there anything in that information that really spoke to you or, you know, that you can relate to on a personal level or that you want to focus on more?
Well, I guess I like to prioritize. One of the things was prioritize, like divide your tasks into, you know, just prioritize yourself, like what's important, what needs to be done first. I feel like I do that. I've done that for a long time. Like even when I was in school, like if it was a priority in the planner, because I'm obsessed with having a planner. So
you do love a planner.
I love a planner. I highlight everything. And now the planner that I have now, it literally every day has like a top 3. So like you do your to-do list and at the top it has your top 3 so you can prioritize them up there. That helps me make the most of my time.
Oh, so it's designed that way with okay.
So it's got everything you need to do and then your top 3 things you need to do. So you can make sure that you focus on those. So I'm big on that one and I have been for a while. I also like the idea of setting intentions. The first one on here. In yoga, well, that's one of the things that we say a lot. Like sometimes during the sequence, like as the teacher, you'll say to set an intention for what you want to get out of your class today. And I think it's important because I remember the first time I heard that from a yoga teacher and I was like, that's interesting. Like set an intention. Like what kind of practice do I want to have? And it quickly became, you know, an off the mat thing. Like you wake up in the morning and you're like, okay, let's set an intention for this day. So I think that's important.
I love that. I love both of those that you said. Because we do have, it's easy to have so many things going on and so many things on your list that you can be overwhelmed.
Yeah.
And the bad part about getting overwhelmed is quite often then you don't get anything accomplished.
It makes it so much worse.
Yeah. You just don't get anything accomplished because you get to this space where you're thinking, I can't. And as soon as you confess that, then you absolutely can't.
Or the quality of the work dips because you've got too much going on instead of just prioritizing and then, you know, working your way through.
So these are the things that I must do today.
Yeah.
And this is, I'm going to do today.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is that's a good one. And it helps you to kind of calm down. Okay, so this is not that important. I don't have to stress myself all about it. I'm just going to focus my energy on this right here first. And then anything else that I complete is gravy.
Yeah.
And I also like the other one that you brought out was setting your intention. Not last week, maybe it was the week before, our new presiding elder talked about expectations, and he was saying that you should expect to have great days. And I kind of think of that when it comes to intentions. My intention is that this be a very productive day. I intend to get out of this day. I'm going to come out of this day feeling productive and happy and satisfied with the work that I've done. It's my intention to complete this task, and that task. So I like that concept of being intentional. So what else is on there that you wanted to bring out? Anything else?
Well, assessing your schedule can be good. I've had to do that constantly since becoming an adult, I guess. Just because you're in charge of your time, and so you've got to be very mindful about how you spend it, because you only have a certain amount of time in the day. So at certain points, I kind of learned this in college too. Just at certain points, you just got to stop working. Like, I only get 4 hours to do this, and then I got to do something else because I got to get this done in a certain amount of time. So just like assessing the schedule that you're doing, assessing the way you're doing things and the time you're spending on certain things.
I like that one too. Because sometimes what I've done when I go back and assess my schedule, because I can, have this is what I want to do today, and these are my lists to do today. And then sometimes you start working and you're over in something, and you realize, okay, this is just not realistic that I can do some of these things that are on this schedule. So I need to reassess or assess, what I have on here.
Yeah.
What can I do? What can I ask someone to do for me or to help me with?
Yeah. And then, I don't know, like if you're in a state where you're trying to achieve certain goals, I think it's important to assess your schedule, because you're going to want to be intentional about the things you do to get where you want to go. So, like, I'm on like a fitness journey, so I'm having to make sure that I'm prioritizing and using my time carefully and assessing the way that I have my schedule, because I'm busy, but you've got to make things a priority that need to be one.
Right.
And so you need to assess the schedule that you've got and see where you can put things in to get where you need to go.
Right. I love the way you just put that. Yeah. You're assessing the schedule to make sure that your schedule aligns with your intentions.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. And that's that's a real good one, because it's easy, if you're not careful, to have your schedule full of things that are not moving towards your intention. You want to go. So you're out of alignment.
Yeah. And it reminds me of this time I was in college. Because this reminds me of college. I had to learn how to be better at time. And I thought I was good at time, and then I went to school and realized I'm terrible at time. So I remember I had a piano test, and I was stressed about it. And then I went in, and I'm pretty sure I just failed the piano test. Like, it was terrible. And then I came to you about it, and I was like super frustrated. And you were like, well, I mean, when you were home for those days, I don't think I really heard you playing the keyboard. And I was like, you're right, though. Like, I wanted to do well on that, but I don't think I took time to assess the schedule that I had while I was home to make sure that my goals were going to be met. It's like, if you want to do well, you're going to have to practice. And it sounds simple, but we let that kind of thing get away from us. We'll have these goals, but we'll not act in alignment to achieve them. So you got to assess your schedule so you can get back to where you need to go to get where you're trying to be.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a whole lesson right there.
Yeah.
And one of the things I think that happens because we don't clearly set our intentions.
Yeah.
And so we don't assess a schedule because we don't have an end goal in mind. And so we just react to life all day.
Yeah.
Instead of being intentional about what we want out of life in that day. Man.
Yeah.
That's a whole...
That's been a big one for me.
That's a whole lesson right there. And you had said something else too, before, in addition to the assessing your schedule. There was something else you had said that...
Something on this list?
I don't know if it was on that list or not, but you had said something else that triggered in my mind, and then we started talking about assessing. So go ahead, just read quickly through that list and see which ones we addressed.
So we talked about setting intentions.
Right.
We talked about prioritizing,
Right. What we're doing.
We've talked about assessing your schedule. There's several things in here that are important that we have not talked about.
Okay, so bring another one of those out.
You kind of were, and I guess we both were talking about just making a plan.
Right.
That's on there.
Yeah. When it comes to being intentional, you do need to make a plan.
You gotta make a plan.
Yeah. It's like trying to go on a trip and not having a roadmap.
Yeah.
You got to make a plan. Okay, we want to end up in Cincinnati, so that means we're going to go through Atlanta. We got to go through Chattanooga. You got to have that plan. You got to have the roadmap. And with life, it's that way too. You determine where it is you want to be, set that intention, and then you make a plan for how do you get there. How do we get there? And again, too often we don't set that plan.
Yeah.
And so we're just reacting to life and just reacting to what happens instead of making things happen.
How you end up doing the life by default thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Which is the last thing I want for you and Jared. Is life by default.
No.
I want you to be very intentional and purposeful. And this is just prime time for you all to be setting those intentions and making it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's also avoid distractions.
Oh man, that is a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. Avoid distractions.
Yeah.
Distractions can come in so many different ways from so many different sources.
Yeah.
And they can totally make you miss what you intended to hit.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how many times, just on a very small level, how many times distractions has gotten in the way of me completing an article or completing the edit on an article.
Yeah.
And just the distractions can come from anywhere, or have jumped in the way of me completing a necklace or completing a design for a necklace. Just totally distracted by what's going on around you, and then by other people's needs. As a mom,
Oh yeah.
as a big sister, you kind of, other people's needs become a part of your life plan.
Yeah.
And if you're not careful, they can consume your life plan.
Yeah.
And you've been totally distracted by taking care of them rather than
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
and what you were aiming for. But you said something else just then? Oh, no, you showed your phone.
I was holding up my phone, and I guess I could act like I was saying that a phone is also a distraction. That's not what I was saying.
Oh, okay.
I was actually showing off how my fingernails match the phone case. It's pink.
Speaking of a distraction.
It's pink. There's a
I
distraction.
thought you were saying that
I wasn't making a point.
Because I thought you were saying, because I know social media is a huge distraction
No,
for
I
people
wasn't
nowadays.
even going there.
Oh, and I thought that's what you were talking about.
Nope. We can pretend that that's what I meant by that.
See, that's an example of distraction.
Yeah.
Totally unexpected.
Yeah.
Because I really thought you were talking about social media, because that is one of the major distractions that we deal with now.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
You know, sometimes I'll catch myself, I'll be in the middle of something, and then I'm picking up my phone, looking at it to see what's happened or what's been said or what's been posted.
Yeah. And then there's a distraction by comparison as well. Like, instead of just working on you and being in your world, you're comparing yourself to somebody else and you're over there. To me, that's a distraction as well.
Oh, okay. Now, that's a different way to look at it. I had not really thought of it that way, but that is true.
Yeah, social media. But no, that's not what I was even doing. It's just, it's pink. The
And
nails
she
are
was
pink.
showing off her nails.
They match.
Wow. Wow. I don't even know how to respond. I don't know how to respond.
Anyway.
So was there anything else on the list?
Did we say practice mindfulness?
We did not.
Oh, because that's on here. Just, it says be aware of how you're spending your time. And just try to enjoy the day
Be
instead
mindful
of rushing.
of how you're spending your time. I guess that makes sense.
Yeah.
And we have talked over and over again about not rushing through, but just enjoying the moment, being present in the moment.
Yeah.
And be intentional about getting everything out of that moment that that the moment has to offer.
Yeah.
And appreciating everything in that moment.
Yeah. And then the consume media responsibly is on here.
Okay. I knew there was something about social media.
Yeah.
So I thought you had flashed to it. Okay.
And the last one is focus on yourself.
Focus on yourself. Wow, that's a good one too.
Which is kind of what I was saying by distraction, by comparison. I guess.
Yeah. So don't compare yourself to other people.
Yeah.
Don't live your life according to what you think their roadmap is.
Yeah. That'll throw you off your course.
Or what you think their path is.
Yeah.
Because often what you see isn't
What it
reality
is
anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that is a key for today, is being intentional, and we're starting with your time. Be intentional with your time. Be intentional with what you want to accomplish in a day.
This is also
Be intentional in assessing your schedule and your plans for the day to see if what I'm planning to do, does it really align with what I want to achieve. Be intentional about blotting out distractions. Be intentional about taking time, putting yourself, at the top of your list. So, would you say that's a good summary?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you live your life by default.
Yeah, just kind of whatever
You
happens.
lose your time by default.
We don't get time back.
It does not come back, and it comes with a heavy cost.
Yeah.
It is not redeemable.
Yep.
When it's gone, it's gone. Whether you used it for good or you waste it away, it is gone. So at least if you've done something good with it, you can have that to stand on and the fruit of that hard work to stand on. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, word for the day is be intentional. Be intentional with your time. All right, Adrian, you're going to work on being intentional with your time?
Yes.
I think you're probably better at it than most people.
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
I think you're very intentional with what you want to achieve and what you want to do.
I'm very goal oriented.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Yeah, I think you are. But anyway, and as I get into this, continue to settle into this phase of my life, I need to be a little bit more intentional. There are some more things I want to accomplish while I'm in a mind and a body that can accomplish things. I need to do a few more things. So I'm going to work myself on being more intentional with my time, because I will fool around and half the day will be gone and I will have nothing to show for it. Isn't that terrible?
I don't. We're in different places in life. But
We are in totally different
completely
places
different.
in life.
I don't do that though. Like even on a Saturday, I'm.
No, you don't, because
There's so much to do.
When I got up this morning, I was awake before I got up. I was awake and I was meditating on my day, and I spent a lot of time manifesting in my mind some things that I want to bring to pass in my life. And so I was laying there meditating and manifesting, and so I was awake a lot earlier than I got up. But finally around 9, a little bit after 9, I got up and went downstairs to get my coffee. And man, that's one of the great joys of my life, when I come downstairs and Edgar already has that pot of coffee ready. But I came down to get my coffee a little bit after 9, and there was no sign of you. You were long gone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This morning, what did I do this morning?
Same thing yesterday morning, though. You were long gone when
I
started moving.
But this morning, I had to go get my breakfast, and then I sat and ate it. And then I went to get some stuff for the garden. I started the garden.
Really?
So I did all of that this morning.
You started your garden out back?
I sure did.
Oh. Okay.
And then I got an indoor garden situation happening, so I'm also growing some.
But the temperature is going to plummet again. Is it going to?
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see.
Oh.
I haven't gotten everything in the ground yet. I'm trying to wait until after the frost, but I planted a couple just to test, just to see.
Okay.
So we'll see.
Well, very good. Well, we are excited. I'm glad to be back to having our conversations. I missed those times, and I missed how they make me think about and consider things.
Yeah.
So anyway, it was good. So did you enjoy this particular conversation?
I did.
And we'll talk more about intentional and how to be more intentional with your time, because there's some great tips too that I found, and some that I use sometimes myself, and we'll talk on those next week, how to be more intentional with your time. All right. But that's all we have for you today. We got to go get ready for the Super Bowl.
Yeah, we do.
Got to go get ready to cheer on Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
Why you start laughing? We got to cheer for Jalen.
Yeah.
He's an Alabama man.
He is.
Yeah. And we're Alabama girls.
This is true.
Yes. And so, yes, we're getting ready to cheer for Jalen. So we got to go get ready. All right.
It was just funny the way you... Okay, yeah. Okay.
But anyway, so you be very intentional this week. We want you to be intentional about taking care of yourself, about having a highly productive week, and about putting yourself at the top of your list of to do and to care for, because
You deserve it.
you absolutely do.